we go and do a Worcester or we go and do a midweek gig, we can just say, take the Luton, right, we'll just go and do it, don't have to take a big truck out. Also leaves the trucks here, so if anybody else needs to work on, if you're doing anything, if you're anything else, you can say, I'm sorting them out, right, you know, and so it will just give us that bit more flexibility, won't it?
At the minute we are getting quite a few like last minute bookings and stuff, so obviously to get that.
And like, you know, these events, you know, they actually tend to be very good, very good, but they don't need a massive truck there all the time. I think in three gigs there we've done what, 25 grand?
Wow. Yeah,
something like that. Maybe 27. Yeah. I mean, for the attendance numbers, like if you in any normal scenario for us, if you come to us and say we've got 1,500 people there, we would go there and say you might do what, 2 grand. You know, something like that. You know, it won't be massive numbers. You know, and then you go in there and we're doing like 6s, 7s, 8s.
I do think they need a little bit of good guidance, just in the way things are being set up. I think we'd probably take a lot more money if it was a bit like the other one last week. We had everything in plan. And
you know, from that perspective, you know, it's within their interest as well for us to go there and take as much money as possible, same as we do for the racecourse. It's our job to generate revenue for them, you know, and we all are in the same boat, aren't we? We want it as good as possible for everyone. So
you're working, like you say, working with them and guiding them. Or well, if you want to try this and that.
Which is what Scott does right now with ARC. He'll speak to our managers and say they'll ask for certain food lines, and if it's not clashing with any of the food that they're already doing of their own, we'll try and guide them into saying, look, would you rather take this brand because it will take more money, so everybody will, you know, the customers will like it more. You know, the revenues are higher for us, the revenues are higher for you, you know, so and it's just doing the same thing, isn't it, really, with them. It's difficult though, because when we're dealing with racecourses, we're dealing with just racecourses, aren't we? Now I know just racecourses is difficult because they're a big company, but when you're dealing with the promoter who's then dealing with the venue, and the venue's just hired from them to do the event. So sometimes the venue are less bothered about making them changes because they've been paid. That's it. Or they get the money off the bar or whatever it is. So
right, I've changed these allergies, by the way. Just so you know.
Because of the product change.
Yeah, so obviously the product change, but you've got this is what they look like at the minute. Great big pages and probably overkill.
Yeah.
I'm making it so that when you do it, it's like that box, box, that's it done.
Okay.
So it's not
clearer to read.
It's not all of these columns and loads of stuff. It's literally just there, and that's it.
You've taken out the stuff that's irrelevant, essentially.
Yeah. So essentially, you've got. I mean, I was even thinking about turning this into a spec sheet potentially, where you've got the build, because that's the build there, isn't it? And then you've got all the stuff next to it. And
so it almost is a spec sheet as well as an allergen sheet, isn't it? I think that would work, mate, because for me, what that does is as the staff are reading those spec sheets, it's also training their minds on those allergens. Now, I know we've got allergen managers that have to step in with that, but it's also good for all of our staff to be fully aware of what's in those products, because you get all the information on one thing, how to build it, all the ingredients, plus what allergens there are. And obviously having the ingredients on there just means that if anyone's allergic to something that isn't an allergen, like tomato, for example, you've got that information for the customer as well.
I've listened to Anita's feedback. She said that the font for it is too small to read.
Okay, sound, fine, Well, let me know then. It's going to take us a couple of hours to get to Southwell. We are just arriving in Southwell, the racecourse there, so next weekend they've got their biggest event of the year, which is Ladies' Day. So we're just going to go and have a look, chat with Lee, who is the site lead there, make sure that we're all singing off the same hymn sheet for the location of where all the concessions need to go. Problem? No, it's not me.
Sound. I've done a check of the banners and that. I'm just going to make sense of it all now.
Right then, let's go and see Lee then. So we did have a couple in the middle here as well last time. Just waiting for Lee to arrive, but to confirm. But if we're going off last year, we've got 6 on the other side, 2 in this VIP zone, or the other one. It's only one area they're using this year. Double hot dog going in here, and then right down on that corner where that blue pop-up bar is, there should be a Greek food going down there.
And which brand's in each one?
So I think Lee wants, over the far side, I think he wants fish and chips, Greek food, burgers, hot dogs. loaded fries and probably mac and cheese over there. Greek food and pizza going in a VIP area. That'll be pre-sold as part of their VIP package. So we would just serve them in that zone, and then we would invoice ARC afterwards for that. Putting over here the double hot dogs and the Greek food down the bottom.
And talk me through the decision making between which brand going where.
This is going to be a very busy day, so there's going to be a lot of people here. I would say across the whole site, including the restaurants, probably circa 10k. So a lot of those people are going to be buying from concessions because, you know, the restaurants can only hold so many. So we want to give them a good range of food, so there's lots of choice, but we also need to make sure that the service times are nice and quick, because that's a lot of people to feed. Some of those foods there, so pizza for example, not the quickest brand, that's going into the VIP area because I think we're looking at a capacity of 200 in there. So it makes more sense for that to be in the smaller area. And then a lot of those brands are key lines that people love: Greek food, mac and cheese, loaded fries, hot dogs, burgers, fish and chips. You know, those are kind of staples of street food that people like. So they do tend to please the masses. Obviously everything from us is really good quality. A lot of those are quick serve. The Greek food tends to be a little bit slower, but we're looking at putting a Greek on this side and that side. So obviously that'll split the crowd.
What else are you thinking about when it comes to these kind of site visits? Is it things like footfall? Is it like the flow of where people are going to end up?
Yeah, so this is obviously main grandstand side. Over that side is the area where the horses get paraded in the paddock. If you want to see the horses up close, also just with the sheer volume of people here, it will naturally be very busy in all areas. And obviously we are also dictated by the space that we've got here. So for example, we can't really put anything all the way down here at all, apart from a very small one in the middle, and the reason for that is that this is the track. So you've got the stand here, and if we were to go and put a large food court like we're doing at the back there, and then put our signage up, you would probably have a good 30-40 metre run where it's blocked off. So it would block their view. A lot of it is down to kind of flow, where we can get them, and making sure that there's food in all the areas where the people are going to be. Yeah, these are some of their temporary bars they put in. So here over the last kind of 12 months or so, I think they were doing the building work this time last year when we were here. They were building they were renovating their food and bars, internal bars. So not a huge site here at Southwell. So it's but we've just popped in there and had a little look, and it looks like they've done a really nice job. So they've got kind of some food counters in there. They've got some bars in there. There's a members area in there, and so anything externally from that is essentially pop-up. So that's obviously us coming in and doing the food on their behalf, and then obviously some of these pop-up bars, which what they do is they fully dress them out, they put all the tops on them, they get all the till systems put into them, they stock them up, very similar to what we do, but obviously with the alcohol and soft drink sales. So these all get dotted around. I think these four are actually located where they need to be, and then you'll see some on the other side, just to again make sure that the service times for the drinks as well as the food is nice and quick for the customers. Sorry, on the Bridge Street, it used to be, we used to have a kitchen pot, which is we could put it here, and we could put one counter there, one there.
Yeah.
So they queue that way and that way.
Yeah, well that's the thing.
Yeah.
Obviously thinking about queuing.
Yeah.
So that's them 2 units. I mean,
Yeah.
we have 2 down on the horse walk as usual, don't we?
Yeah. Did we have one there last time in the end though? Because I think it was too wide.
Yeah, I think you probably did.
So we dropped it to one, I think, because it was too. It came too far.
For that to happen again.
Yeah. So we'll stick with that one, same place.
Lovely.
Fine.
And then usual.
Yeah. Let's have a look at that.
From the
Yeah.
we're having Selfish Chin Chin Gin trailer as usual there.
Yeah.
And then you'll have Rum Shack just the other side of here.
Yeah.
Along with our 40-foot container bar
there.
just up towards the entrance.
Which is the VIP zone this year? Because you've only got one, haven't you?
We have.
Are we doing up there or down
yeah,
there?
up there. Yeah.
Are you harassing this again? And I mean,
They will. Yeah, they always Harris fence it.
Yeah.
Because there's I'm pretty sure there's a toilet block on here.
Yeah.
Our kegs will be on here as well. So
Okay.
it's very limited mobile toilets on here, but there is a proportion on there.
Yeah.
Plus, as you know, there's a 20-foot container that goes parallel to that edge for us, and then there'll be some generators behind there as well.
We were on the grass, weren't we?
You were on the grass,
So,
yeah.
The Harris comes to about here then, doesn't it?
I think your store started on the grass. No, I think
Yeah.
there Harris
Yeah.
kind of goes from that post, and
Yeah.
I seem to think you had
Yeah.
that as your workspace,
Yeah.
and it ended here. But,
Yeah.
but I may well be wrong. You know, you've got the fence on yourself, so
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's probably the best way to kind of look at it.
You know what's behind here? Is there any room for the fence to come slightly this way?
Possibly, I don't know without checking.
Without
with them.
checking, yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm asking is if we've got the kit, because we got a lot out that weekend.
Yeah.
But if we've got the kit, I was thinking of possibly seeing about putting a back of house kitchen in.
Yeah.
Speed up,
Okay.
just because
Okay.
they do have a good impact on the service.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course
So
you
it'd be
do.
about
Yeah,
6 metre, but 3 metre deep. So
Right,
so
okay.
basically you'd
We
almost.
might have
I mean,
to run
we
that
could.
through
We,
Claes when we.
yeah.
We'll call in on his way out. We'll call it to the
See what he
office,
thinks.
We'll
I mean,
speak to Claes
we can
about
still
it.
put it in, but it pushes it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
And I'm
of
just
course
thinking,
it
you
does,
know,
of
like if
course
you
it
don't want
does.
to take your crowd space.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was the space here and you could nick a bit, it might just help with the queue side.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
definitely,
Or even
exactly.
half and half.
Well, you did quite well with queues last year.
No, I thought we did all right with the queues last year.
Yeah, I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
because to go in that way,
Yeah.
you've kind of got a limit of the path
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
And I don't
yeah.
think they breached it very often.
Okay, so
from
well, that's
what I
good then. I
saw
mean, if the
anyway.
wait time wasn't too bad, then it might
Yeah.
not need it.
And then this one, same as last year. I mean,
Yeah.
we've come up with Greek and the pizza.
Yeah.
So 2 units,
Yeah.
side by side, within the enclosure, next to the bar.
Yeah.
Serving all them on a voucher system.
Trying to think. Did we change the angle of these last year?
I think we did.
Well, I think was it that they were going to go against the hedge, but there's a dip, isn't there?
That's right.
So
Correct.
I think we ended
Yeah.
up doing it. So they
think
backed
you're
on
right.
because you had a little fence off there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To that tree
So
almost.
literally where this post is where your white
Yeah.
trellising will start. It's that
That's
small
it. That
picket
small
fencing.
picket fence, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
the other side of the tree there'll be a container bar.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is. It's where it dips. That's why.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
I think we ended up putting it here, didn't we?
It's similar to that. I think we had them on an angle here actually.
Was it?
I think. Well, yeah, by the looks of it,
Yeah.
judging by the browning,
Yeah.
could well have been there.
Okay. So
I seem to think they're on an angle.
that might work though if you're happy
Yeah.
getting that angle
And
there.
then that service them, it keeps you away from bars, so queues aren't
Yeah,
getting mixed
they're
up.
not coming into each
kinda-
other like that, are
Yeah, exactly. They're not impacting on each other.
they? I'll just take a photo of that one, mate.
Yes, mate. no
And then I can just draw that out for the lads. I mean, like you say, I mean, if the queue times were acceptable, you might not need it.
Exactly.
So, but
And
we're
like
just
you say, last year was your first year here.
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
we've all kind of learnt from the process, and we've all
Yeah.
got little things we do slightly different. And
Yeah.
that's all cool and dandy, you know.
I think Scott mentioned to you after that particular one, we
Yeah.
streamlined the menus a bit.
That's right. No,
So we had a few
you-
conversations because one of
Yeah.
the issues we had was we ran out of chips over there.
Yeah.
Right, but for fish and chips.
Yeah.
Which is not an ideal scenario.
No,
I mean,
sure.
it was
No,
it was
that's
quite close
right,
to the
it
end,
was.
so he wasn't
It
far off
was.
his forecast.
It
but
was.
Richard has said to me, I don't want that to happen ever.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said to
Yeah.
him, the problem we had in that situation was that there was a lot of people buying portions of chips.
Yeah, I see that.
You see it through our
And
forecasting out.
obviously they're used to coming here because we previously had a chip shop,
Yeah.
and a lot of people they're still coming now for it.
Yeah, and our fish and chips.
But obviously we're not rebuilding it. We had to put something in to supplement it.
Yeah.
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 So that's perhaps why a lot of them were coming expecting chips. But by the same token, bear in mind we did 1,500 above what was expected last year.
Yes.
It was an abnormal crowd as
Yes.
well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it'll fix it.
I think we've got. I mean, Scott's forecasting now is like unbelievably
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
You know, I think we last
He's a
week.
good man. He is.
You know, last week I think we did whatever it was across the group, 60 odd grand worth of sales, and I think he was
Yeah.
500 quid out on his total forecasting.
That's not
So
bad,
like
is
he's
it?
very
Not
very
bad.
good.
Yeah.
So and obviously he's learnt now, and also because we've made the agreement with Richard not to run out with anything, we're also carrying probably about 25% overstocked on everything,
Yeah.
and just
Enjoy
rolling.
McDonald's.
Did darling.
Thank you for asking
That's
me
all
if
right,
I
no
wanted
worries,
one.
sorry,
Left me out, Ryan, your dad did. He's left me out.
Don't
They've
send
all been
out
for
one.
McDonald's. I'm jealous.
I didn't think that. I thought you'd be above McDonald's. You know, going out to Dubai and wherever else.
Multitasking, mate. I'll be doing a bit of that for school holidays.
Yeah,
I know. We've got Scott. Scott is exactly the same though. So when you're speaking to Scott, he's at home with his kids, working from home as well. Yeah, because his wife works full time. There's a few angles with that. So operationally, it makes sure that we're on the same page, and it's quite key that we have, because what's happened is, by us meeting, we've remembered that actually last year we came up against a few operational positional hurdles. So the way Lee actually remembers it from last year and the way I remember it from last year was slightly different. And actually, when we've talked it through, we've realised that actually we didn't have two down the bottom here. We've actually ended up having one, because actually when we set that up, it was too big. So we needed to reduce it to one. Now obviously that meant we would have brought another concession over, maybe not set it up, but we'd have transported it here. And actually we're very, very busy that weekend. We've got lots of installs all over the country, and that equipment's needed. So we need to make sure that we're not wasting equipment, sending it miles. The costs are on that, the environmental impact of having more weight in our trucks. So doing it this way means that actually when we've talked it through and reminded ourselves, we've gone, oh yes, we adjusted that last year. So that's one there, not two. This one needs changing the angle, because the queue actually was going towards the bar queue and they were end up crossing, so we adjusted the angle today for that. So it's fine tuning and fine tweaks just to make sure that actually we are on the same page and that we can just get it to be as streamlined as possible. I can now go back, I can feed all this information into Scott, who is head of operations, and Scott will then build a build plan for the build team and spec this all out, staffing wise, stock wise, logistics, everything, based on the fact that the site manager and me are in agreement to how everything's going. And then obviously from the perspective of relationships, because this is one of my biggest clients. I like to make sure my relationships are strong with all my clients. So coming and seeing Lee, I haven't seen Lee since this time last year, although I spoke to him lots on the phone. I haven't seen him. Great to come over, see him, shake his hand, catch up with him, and just make sure that he's happy with everything that we're doing.